What's up, guys? This is my crossover. I'm back with another episode of What If Naruto Was Trained by the Dragon King of the Sea Part 2. And if you did enjoy this video, give this video a like, and if you're new to my channel and like my content, subscribe and hit that notification bell for more crossover fictions with a twist. Now let's begin this new video.
Chapter 6. The Demon 7. Alright, Wendy, let's follow your lead to Rose Village and then we'll be able to find the item you're looking for, Naruto said to Wendy, who nodded in agreement.
Naruto brought down the wyvern like it was nothing. He's a strong man. I'm curious if Grandini left because I'm frail. Wendy thought until Naruto jolted her out of her reverie.
Wendy, it's starting to rain again. Man, this weather is getting annoying. Let's find some shelter before it starts, Naruto says as he and Wendy sprint towards a massive oak tree and take cover inside after finding an entrance.
It's really bad out there. I don't think we'll make it there today, Wendy. Sorry for wasting your day. Wendy shook her head.
No, it wasn't a waste of time for me. It's nice to hang out with a fellow dragon slayer like you. Even if we don't find the item, I'm glad I met you, Wendy said, her eyes widening.
I'm glad I met you, a little white-haired female replied with a loving smile.
Naruto's eyes returned to normal, and he smiled. I'm glad I met you too, Wendy. Glad to know there are others like me in Natsu. Naruto paused for a moment before asking a question. Hey Wendy, what was your dragon parent like? The blue-haired damsel perked up as she began to describe her dragon father's demeanor.
She was kind and gentle, and I loved her. Even though we aren't blood-related, she raised me like a real mother would, and I loved her like her real daughter, she said, smiling nostalgically. I noticed your guild mark. What guild do you belong to? Oh, this. I'm from Kate Shelter. It's not a very large guild, but it's full of good people. What guild are you from, Naruto? Naruto raised his sleeve to expose his fairy tail mark, which astonished the young woman. I'm from Fairy Tail. Naruto didn't know what hit him as Wendy grabbed his shoulders and began shaking him. What? You're from Fairy Tail? Do you know Miss Erza and Miss Mira Jane? Naruto managed to speak slowly. Wendy, please stop shaking me. I'm feeling sick. Wendy stopped shaking him and embarrassed greatly while apologizing. Don't worry, you're a fan of Erza and Mira, which is understandable given their reputations. Who doesn't know about them? I've been to Magnolia Town several times and all I hear there is about those two. I even have Miss Mira Jane's magazine articles. She's really beautiful, she said, and Naruto grinned. Yeah, they're good people, though Erza's really scary, Wendy said, pausing to look at Naruto. Don't get me wrong, she's a nice person, but she's so strict that even our guild master thinks she's too strict. Fairy Tale Ost Faraway Promised Land, however, I can't help but compare her to my mother. Wendy was perplexed and asked Naruto another question.
So, is your dragon parent a female? Naruto asked, shaking his head. You had two dragon parents. Naruto shook his head once again. After the death of my biological parents, I was taken in by my dragon parent Jormungandr. See, my mother had red hair like Erza, and she even acts like her quite a bit. Wendy looked down, her hands grasping her knees, her bangs concealing her eyes.
Wendy began to cry as she said, I'm sorry for asking you too many questions and reminding you of your past. End of Ost. No, no, no. Don't cry, Wendy, please don't. I'm fine really, Naruto exclaimed, comically flailing his arms. He came to a halt when she nodded, wiping her eyes. Naruto smiled warmly. Tell me more about your guild, and I'll tell you more about mine, Wendy said as they each told stories of their travels. I even pranked the magical council once by paint bombing them with neon orange paint and making a stink bomb that one of them stepped on, Naruto explained.
What, Naruto? That's not funny, Wendy said, but she still laughed quietly.
As you can see, you're laughing, so it must be funny.
Unknown address. Suzubuza was beaten by a child with the ability to consume water. That boy must be a dragon slayer. To think dragon slayers in this day and age, what was the boy's name? Itachi? Said a hooded guy with a monotone voice. That was what surprised me, Lord Riku. His name I just found out was Naruto Uzumaki of Fairy Tail. Riku was happy for his hood, which masked his enlarging eyes. Kushina's child is alive, and he is a member of that guild, Itachi informed Riku. I have heard many titles bestowed upon some of the more prominent mages. Titania, Salamander, She-Devil. Naruto himself has a title, Great Knight of the Sea. But that is not important, Lord Riku. What shall we do with Zabuza, my liege?
He has failed us and will be dealt with accordingly. They all looked up to see a figure whose face was obscured by darkness. Who shall you send to retrieve the executioner's blade then, my lord? Kisame questioned the hooded man, who immediately replied to the fishman. Orion will, Kisame said, raising a brow while Itachi remained motionless. Kisame quickly expressed his thoughts. That man's child. You sure, he enjoys spilling blood more than anyone. Hell, kid's even more bloodthirsty than I am. Kisame and Itachi both sought to reason with Riku. It is true, Lord Riku. The last time Orion was sent on a mission, he mutilated several opponents and then bathed in their blood. Please reconsider, Itachi said in a gruff monotone. It is my decision, and I have decided that Orion will ensure that the name of the 7 demon blades remains feared. With the knowledge of Zabuza's defeat, our reputation is at stake, but Orion's brutality will show the people that even with one less member, we are still to be feared. Kisame, go tell Orion his orders and give him this. Riku tossed a bracelet containing a black stone. He'll be doing some training somewhere on the island. What exactly are those black stones? Every time he sends Orion on a mission, a genocide is unavoidable, and every time he gives him a bracelet with a black stone. Lord Riku, what are your plans? Riku brought Itachi out of his thoughts. Something on your mind, Itachi? Riku asked, his voice colder than Itachi's. Nothing, Lord Riku, Itachi said as he walked away from the area, his face expressionless. I need information, and only one person can supply it. Magnolia City. Don't worry Lucy, I'll talk the old man down, he loves me. Natsu smiled briefly before Erza's words hit him. Master won't be lenient this time, Natsu, and not even you can talk yourself out of this one. Natsu began to sweat and was carried by Erza, kicking and screaming, within seconds. What the? Lucy couldn't finish her thought when she noticed metal rods running through the fairy tale guild structure. Returning to Naruto and Wendy. As soon as we get out of this forest, we'll see the entrance to Rose Village. I wonder what it's like Naruto. Wendy inquired of her partner, who simply shrugged but quickly came to a halt as they both felt something. Wendy, do you smell smoke coming from over there in the direction of the village? When Wendy nodded, Naruto dashed towards the village.
Wait up, Naruto, Wendy yelled as she hurried to catch up with Naruto. When they spotted their destination, Rose Village, in flames, both slayers came to a halt. There is devastation everywhere and no one in sight. Naruto used his water spells to put out the fires around the village before he and Wendy searched for any of the people.
Wendy, can you smell a person's scent? It's faint but I can almost make it. When she nodded, they both followed their noses to some rubble and discovered a door leading to a basement. Naruto attempted to open the door but it was locked, so he did what only Naruto would do. He slammed the door open, turning Wendy's eyes as white as dinner plates. Naruto, why did you do that? Naruto shrugged and said that the door was locked and there was nothing he could do about it. As they descended the steps, they discovered the basement, which was stocked with ingredients for different recipes. Must have been a restaurant before the fire, or there wouldn't be. Kyahhhhh. Naruto pulled Wendy out of the way of a projectile, which turned out to be a kitchen knife.
All right, come out whoever you are. Wait a minute squish, Naruto said, turning to see his hand touching Wendy's right breast. Hhhhhhh. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Naruto yanked his hand away from her breast.
Aye, it's fine. Wendy wrapped her arms around her chest, her face flushed.
That's it, come out now or I'll blast this place to smithereens. His power began to flow, causing the person who threw the knife at Wendy to fall on their ass. It was a woman in a waitress costume with a bandana over her dark hair. Why did you attack us? Wendy questioned the lady who had thrown a knife at her.
I thou ughhtuea. She collapsed and started hyperventilating. Wendy and Naruto approached the woman to check on her. Wendy noticed purple streaks going down the woman's arm and pulled up her sleeve to see poison gushing. She's been poisoned. Naruto became concerned when he heard this. What are you going to do, Wendy? Naruto inquired as he noticed Wendy's hands glowing green. She ran her fingers across the woman's chest. My Sky Dragon Slayer magic allows me to heal wounds and cure illnesses. I may not be able to fight, but I do what I can to help. Naruto was amazed by Wendy's confidence and healing ability. Goo! Exclaimed the woman, opening her eyes. Easy now. What is your name, and more importantly, what happened here? Naruto questioned the woman, who was sweating profusely but had managed to calm down a little. Ayame. My name is Ayame. I have lived in this village for a long time and work as a waitress alongside my sister Tamaki in this ramen shop. Naruto drooled at the mention of ramen, causing the two ladies to pull away from the blonde in a hilarious manner. Sorry, just that I love ramen. Anyway, continue. With Naruto's drooling gone, the mood returned to normal. A man with long blonde hair in a ponytail came here with another tall man. and they both destroyed our village and took the remaining villagers with them, Ayame continued, which piqued Naruto's interest. Wendy asked Ayame, who replied with a shake of her head, "Why did they take your villagers?" "I don't know," Ayame said, "but what I do know is that they have my sister with them." Ayame began to cry. "Please help me save my sister."
The location of Kisame. So this is where you've been hiding. Kisame laughed as he noticed a figure seated on a gigantic snake. This individual had dark green spiky hair, light white skin, yellow eyes with pitch black slits for pupils, and a purple tongue protruding from his mouth. He was dressed in a black trench coat, gray fingerless gloves, black trousers, and metal-plated boots. Orion noticed Kisame wearing the bracelet with the black stone that Riku had given him. "Lord Riku has a job for you," Orion said with a sinister grin and a demented glimmer in his eyes.
That grin is reminiscent of him. Orochimaru, the scorpion in red. "Sasori, my man, I'm bored as hell. Can I blast some of these prisoners with my art?" A blonde-haired man with a ponytail asked the massive man next to him, Sasori. Sasori was 7 feet tall and dressed in robes, a hood, and bladed gauntlets. The blonde man wore a black robe and had a device on his left eye, as well as rings on his palms. "Deidara, I will not discuss this with you again, and no, you cannot, they are required for our benefactor to use," Sasori said to his companion, who simply hmphed, in irritation. Deidara's pocket produced a sound, and he drew out a communication lacrima. "Hello?" Deidara replied to his lacrima. He gave Deidara his next orders with a hooded face. "Deidara, I need your talents. It appears that the magical council is after me, so I need you to dispose of their little battalion that they sent after me," the man said to the blonde, who laughed. "Sure thing, boss. What about our prisoners, though? Do you still need them for the system?" he said of his supervisor. "The system is almost finished. I don't need them anymore. Do whatever you want with them," Deidara grinned, but his employer cut him off. "You can deal with them later, Deidara, but first you follow your orders." Deidara grumbled but obeyed his boss's commands. The lacrima was severed, indicating that the dialogue had come to an end.
"You better hurry, Deidara, I hate waiting, hurry or you'll miss out on the fun when I turn these people into my human puppets." Deidara just murmured something about stupid puppet masters and walked away. Immediately upon Deidara's departure,
"It appears that I have some uninvited guests. I should greet them first, and then I may turn them into my puppets." Sasori walked away to confront the intruders. After hours of searching, Naruto and Wendy finally found Sasori's hideout. "Did you hear a bell sound as well, Naruto?" she said, her voice worried. "Yeah, but what does that mean?" he asked Wendy, who thought for a moment before snapping her fingers. "It could mean that was an alarm set up by the enemy, and they've probably planned an ambush for us," Sasori said, interrupting their conversation. "Very clever little girl. Though you two are still no match for me, will you entertain me?" Naruto wanted to rush him but spotted a barrier composed of barely visible wires thanks to his increased awareness. Wendy noticed the same thing. "You're trying to force us to attack you so we can fall for your trap," Sasori said, but he didn't show it. "Then you know you can't even reach me, let alone scratch me. If you'd kindly surrender, I'll hasten your death." Naruto flashed a stern glare, his eyes glowing red for a second before returning to their normal blue. "Wendy, hold on tight," Naruto said firmly. "What do you mean? Eep." Naruto grasped Wendy bridal style and moved over the cables with his aqua jet. He kicked Sasori, who attempted to block with his right arm but it was broken, prompting Sasori to back up. "Would?" both Dragon Slayers thought at the same time. "I retract my earlier statement, you landed a solid hit. Looks like Goliath won't be able to meet your expectations after all, so I will reveal myself to you." Sasori's body opened, revealing a red-haired adolescent only a few years older than the duo. "My name is Sasori the Master Puppeteer, and your death." Goliath closed its eyes and began moving on its own. A magical circle appeared on the ground, revealing a puppet. This puppet was a little shorter than Goliath, but it was just as terrifying. It had raven hair, an open gray trench coat, and blades on its arms. "Meet Crow, the instrument of your destruction." From Deadman Wonderland, Crow or Senji. Crow moved to strike the two, but Naruto jumped out of the way, still clutching Wendy. Goliath suddenly moves to attack them from behind. "Naruto behind you," Wendy exclaimed, causing Naruto to perform a rear somersault to avoid the giant puppet. Crow slashed at him after following the blonde's movement. Naruto united his hands to form a strong wall of rock-hard coral that split in half. "He's fast, and his reaction time matches the movement of my puppets," Sasori thought as his hands controlled his puppets to assault the two. "Wendy, Go free the villagers inside this hellhole, and I'll deal with this guy and his puppet, Naruto said, still clutching her close.
But Naruto, I'm too weak, I can't do this on my own, I'm not as strong as you, and I'll drag you down. Naruto gave her a determined expression while avoiding Sasori's puppet combination attacks.
Wendy, don't doubt yourself. I've only recently met you, but I can tell you're already strong, not because you're a dragon slayer, but because you haven't given up on finding Grandine, and your kind and gentle nature reminds me of how you healed Ayame. There's more to strength than just physical strength. Consider why we fall, so we may learn to pull ourselves up. Wendy flushed at Naruto's compliment and nodded, a smile emerging on her face. Alright, I'll do my best, Naruto said, using Aqua Jet to go past the puppets and even Sasori. He let Wendy leave, who was on her way to release the trapped villagers. Sasori dispatched Goliath to stop her, but Naruto seized the opportunity to crush the puppet to smithereens. Sea Dragon's crushing fang. Naruto slashed Goliath in half with a water-enhanced claw strike. Sasori's pupils constricted at this. Naruto Ost talent emergence, a dragon killer. I never expected to meet one so soon. He called himself a sea dragon, and he is Fairy Tail's great knight of the sea. I underestimated him. Crow's base form will not suffice for this battle. Sasori made a hand sign, which prompted Crow to morph, this time with multiple blades protruding out, although they were crimson this time. It smells like blood. Naruto assumed a combat stance, sensing the true danger he is in. Crow charged faster than previously and began slashing at the blonde, who dodged and blocked many attempts. I only need one cut to secure my win. Crow's body is laced with my particular poison, and even the slightest touch will be enough for me to win. Sasori made a quick motion that caused Crow to move back, and the puppet quickly joined his hand where blood could be seen accumulating. It let go of its hands, scattering blades made of poisoned blood all over the place. Naruto utilized his Aqua Jet once more to avoid all of the blades. When Naruto regained his feet, he narrowly evaded another sword attack, but this one grazed his cheek and caused him to move back. When Naruto lowered his head, Sasori paused his assault and began to speak. End of Ost. I laced Crow with poison. One cut is all it takes to kill my victims. You were a worthy opponent, a shame I never asked for your gnaw. Sasori was cut off before he could continue his sentence. Sea Dragon's rotating axe. Naruto unleashed a water-powered kick and spun, striking Crow in the center and killing the puppet. What? You should have died from the poison. How are you still alive? Sasori became agitated and demanded an answer from Naruto. Being the Sea Dragon Slayer gives me immunity to poison. I literally cleanse my body from your poison. If I were any other person, I'd be dead, but I'm Naruto Uzumaki, and the guy who'll surpass the Wizard Saints. Sasori laughed, causing Naruto to become enraged.
A dreamer, huh, looks like I'll have to show you the difference between me and you, Sasori said as he slapped his palm to the ground. I will illuminate you in the darkness, fool.
Along with Wendy, their odor is right here. Wendy discovered the peasants imprisoned like animals. I came to free you all. Where are the keys?
Sasori always keeps them with him. Who are you? A brown-haired girl inquired, Wendy looking perplexed. Are you Tamaki, Ayame's sister? Tamaki was taken aback, and before she could respond, Wendy beat her to it. We heard from Ayame about what happened to you. She's safe, don't worry. Tamaki was glad, but wondered how Wendy would liberate them without a key. I'm a dragon slayer. If Naruto can do it, I can too. Wendy began to emit a green aura and advised the people to take a step back. Fang of the Sky Dragon. Wendy slashed her arm across the cage, releasing the villagers from their captivity.
The peasants' jaws were open and their eyes were dinner plates. Everyone follow me, we have to get out of here, said the female magician as she left the hideout to search another route out. Returning to Naruto. Anger. Naruto Ost. How many traps does this dude have? Naruto evaded many flying razor discs as well as a slew of swinging blade traps. Sasori controlled the traps with his strings and nearly beheaded Naruto several times. You have good reflexes, I can't wait to add you to my collection. Naruto was perplexed and requested an explanation. Oh, you want to know? My puppets were once humans like you, until I killed them and turned them into my puppets. Soon, you will share their fate. This angered Naruto, who launched a counterattack, smashing numerous traps in the process. Sasori narrowly escaped being kicked by the irate blonde. You bastard. You defiled lives just to turn them into your puppets. I will not forgive you. Returning to Wendy, there's the way out. Everyone dashed out of the bunker until only Tamaki and Wendy remained. Wendy heard explosions. Naruto, Tamaki, please come out here and tell the others to return to the village. Wendy returned to assist her companion. Wendy, Where are you going? Some villagers stopped Tamaki and told her to run. She hesitantly nodded and followed them. Returning to Naruto, cannonball. Naruto threw a coral cannonball at Sasori, who immediately utilized his strings to cling to a large piece of rubble and block the cannonball, but tripped a little afterwards. He scarcely appears fatigued, although I am completely exhausted. But I have one more trick. Sasori thought as he made another hand motion as Naruto became entangled by multiple wires and explosives put around him. End of Ost, shit, yelled Naruto as he realized he was ensnared by the puppeteer. With one move, you'll be Shlee. Sky Dragon's roar. Sasori was thrown into the air by Wendy's massive whirlwind. Naruto escaped the trap and appeared next to her. Naruto, are you okay? Wendy feared about the blonde as he smiled at her. Yeah, now that you're here, thank you for saving me. Otherwise, I would have been injured or worse. Naruto then noticed Sasori slowly dropping towards the ground. My turn, bastard. This is for all the lives you ruined. See Dragon's roar. Naruto breathed in and let out a strong dragon's roar that slammed Sasori square in the face and smashed through the ceiling, causing the hideout to begin to crumble. Let's get out of here, Naruto exclaimed as he and Wendy made their getaway. You will pay for this, Dragon Slayers, Sasori exclaimed as he lay motionless on the ground after being struck by Naruto's spell. Confrontation, flashback, hooray! Exclaimed the freed villagers as the two mages returned. They barraged them, with the males charging Wendy, but Naruto jokingly knocked them all back as he observed the discomfort on her face as the boys were about to charge her. Don't even think about it, morons. Everyone was taken aback by Naruto's kindness to Wendy. Wendy just had to use powerful spells and needs rest. Also, she's uncomfortable with you guys surrounding her, so don't bother her, idiots. Wendy blushed and smiled at Naruto's care for her. Thank you, Naruto. Naruto smiled at her, but her smile made him blush. The party went on all night, with Naruto consuming numerous bowls of ramen. Amazing Naruto! Wendy exclaimed when she saw Naruto have so much ramen. When the two were separated from the community, they went their separate ways. Goodbye, Naruto. I hope to see you again someday. We're friends now, right? Of course we'll meet again. Wendy grinned as he began to walk away but paused briefly, turning around to face her. He raised his right arm, faced the backhand in front of him, pushed out his thumb, and finally pointed upwards with his index finger. What are you doing, Naruto? She questioned, stuttering slightly. This is a message. It means that even if I can't see where you are, I'm always looking at you. This surprised the girl, who opened her mouth wide and smiled. In response, she made the same motion. Flashback concludes, man, I'm hungry. Can't wait to eat Mira's homemade ramen. Naruto noticed the guild building and was surprised to see it was under construction. What happened here? He wonders as he sees Mira arriving with cocktails.
Welcome back, Naruto. How was your job? She grinned as Naruto walked around the building site with a humorous expression on his face. Mira, what the hell happened here? I was only gone for a little while, so why the hell is the guild like this? Mira recounted what happened after he departed for his quest. From Natsu stealing an S-class job request to the guild war with Phantom Lord, everything is happening. She didn't leave anything out, including telling him about Gajeel. Mira was perplexed when he said, another dragon slayer, so that means there are already 4 of us. Oh, I met another dragon slayer on the way to my house, her name is Wendy, and she's a nice person.
You've met another one? That's great news, Naruto. Mira returned to dishing out lunches and drinks to everyone. While Mira was busy serving, Naruto realized Erza, Natsu, and Gray were not present. In fact, where are Lucy and Happy? He thought as he saw Elfman assisting the others in repairing the guild. Hey Elfman, where's Erza? I'd have thought she'd be here to help out after a guild war, the blonde asked. Elfman responded with his typical zeal. She, Gray, Natsu, Happy, and Lucy went to a Kane resort after helping Loke. Naruto's face flushed at Elfman's usage of the word, man, and he inquired about Loke. What happened to Loke? Mira returned and responded. Oh, he was a celestial spirit all along. According to Lucy, his real name is Leo the Lion. Naruto's eyes grew like dinner plates. Ehhhhhh. His yell pierced the eardrums of some of his guildmates. Several days later, Naruto, meet Juvia, our newest guild member. She was formerly of Phantom Lord, but don't let that bother you too much. Makarov grinned as he unveiled a pale-skinned girl around Naruto's age, dressed in white with blue outlines, gloves, and a hat that covered the scalp of her light blue hair. You mean she's part of the guild that hurt Levi and the others? Old man, did the alcohol affect your brain too much? Naruto's brows narrowed at the girl who stared down at the ground.
I'm sorry for my part in the guild war, I was only following Master Jose's orders, he was the first person to accept me at the time, I apologize for my actions. Juvia dropped her head in shame. Naruto's gaze softened as he turned to face Makarov, who nodded gently.
No, I'm sorry for how I treated you just now. When you were a member of Phantom Lord, you were an enemy, but now you're a comrade, so welcome to the guild, Juvia. Naruto grinned as Juvia smiled, and Makarov reciprocated. Thank you, Master Makarov. Actually, I have a favor to ask of you. Juvia requested the old man, who encouraged her to just ask and he would do his best. Both the guild master and Naruto's eyes widened as Juvia spoke. In a later date, in the former Phantom Lord headquarters. To be beaten by a salamander of all people. Damn, there goes my pride as a dragon slayer. A man with long black hair and metal piercings on his face said as he bit into a small piece of garbage. Gajeel Red Fox, the Iron Dragon Slayer, was here. So this is where you've been hiding, Black Steel, Gajeel. Gajeel turns around to find a spiky-haired blonde wearing orange pants, black shoes, a black sleeveless shirt, orange wristbands, a basic black headband, and a white fairy tail symbol on his left arm. Naruto was there. I hadn't mentioned what he wore in previous chapters, so this was a good moment. That mark. You're from Fairy Tail, then, what do you want from me? Naruto closed his eyes and said. Juvia asked us to find you because she joined Fairy Tail and was worried about you, Gajeel said, frowning. Tish. Who asked her to do it anyway? Gajeel muttered to himself, but Naruto overheard.
You jerk, it's because she cares about you. Gajeel snorted again, though Naruto couldn't see Gajeel's little smile. Naruto leapt to his feet and delivered a flying kick to the former Phantom Lord Mage.
Oi, you bastard, what did you do that for? The two got into a fight, and both used their powers.
Fairy Tail Ost invoke magic, Fairy Tail. Iron Dragon's Club. Gajeel transformed his right arm into an iron club that quickly extended, aiming at Naruto, who evaded it and landed on the club as it extended towards Gajeel. My turn, Iron Bastard. Sea Dragon's Crushing Fang. Naruto yanked at Gajeel, knocking him backwards. Ha ha ha, I've got you. Naruto then crossed his arms to block an enhanced punch, but was sent back, barely landing on his feet. My strike should have grazed him at the very least. What the? He noticed Gajeel covering himself in iron scales. That explains why. A sword. Naruto witnessed Gajeel construct a sword, from which he managed to avoid a slash. Water Jet. Naruto sped up behind Gajeel and launched one of his characteristic assaults alongside Gajeel, who sliced with his sword once again.
Sea Dragon's Rotating Axe. Iron Dragon's Sword. But both attacks were thwarted by a powerful presence.
End of Ost. Enough already, you idiots. Both mages turned to face Makarov, who was walking forward with the ground disintegrating beneath him. Gajeel reverted to normal once both wizards ceased using their magic.
Master Makarov, what are you doing here? The black-haired magician inquired as the old man relaxed his spell. What Naruto was supposed to do, but he got carried away. Makarov gave Naruto a little humorous glare, making him sweat. Back to business, I have a question for you, Gajeel said as he turned away. What exactly is it? He simply inquired. What were you thinking when you picked a fight with us? Gajeel asked as he turned around. What did Phantom Lord mean to you? What does the guild mean to you? What does being a mage mean to you? That's more than one question, Makarov replied as Naruto remained mute. They're all the same, Makarov said, as his last few inquiries caused Gajeel to pause. How do you see yourself as a mage? Would you kill innocent people if Jose ordered it? You'd be no better than a puppet controlled by someone. Shut up already, just leave me alone, Gajeel said, his eyes closed and his gaze turned away from the two. However, the elderly man's next few remarks surprised not only Gajeel but also Naruto, forcing the blonde to have wide eyes until they returned to normal. There's no need for you to throw yourself into the darkness. How about it? Want to join Fairy Tail? Naruto remained mute as Gajeel spoke. Are you joking? Makarov remained calm in the face of Gajeel's outburst, shocking him once more. There are those who prefer solitude, but no one can withstand it, Naruto said, with an image of his 5-year-old self crying. Slow version of Fairy Tail's Ost main theme, but I trashed your guild, exclaimed Gajeel. Let's set that aside, Makarov suggested, but Gajeel was determined. And I hurt your comrades. Makarov's eyes blazed, while Naruto's appeared to become red, akin to Natsu's when he is outraged. Gajeel was taken aback by this. I will never forgive you for that. However, if I allowed a man like you to fall into darkness, it would be myself I couldn't forgive, the elderly master said as he extended his hand to Gajeel.
This isn't me saving you, but rather leading you to the path of tomorrow, Gajeel said as Naruto remained mute.
Aye. Gajeel took Makarov's hand in his and accepted the offer.
Use fairy tale main theme instead. Makarov had a full-blown grin while Naruto had a tiny smile. Gajeel was developing a grin as well. Unknown place, East End. You bitch, die, yelled a man as he charged a woman with long pale blue hair and military-style white clothing. Using her rapier, the woman easily slashed the man without breaking a sweat.
You are so weak, you deserve death. She began to walk away until she was stopped by a voice.
Sadistic as always, Esdeath, the newly christened Esdeath said as Itachi approached. She smiled at him despite having twisted ideas in her head.
Itachi, if you're here, Lord Riku wants to speak with me, am I right? Itachi nodded, and she smiled broadly. Silva, let us go. A silver-haired man sat on a boulder. This man had black markings on his face, red eyes, a black open shirt, blue pants, and black boots, and he clutched a sword similar to Zabuza's executioner's sword, but much thinner, which he sheathed in its case on his back. Zabuza was defeated, Esdeath said, startled, but Silva was stunned. Orion has been dispatched to deal with him, while Lord Riku wishes to see us right now. The three departs as we witness Esdeath and Silva wearing the same bracelets Riku handed to Orion, only the stones were blood crimson. Returning to Naruto, Naruto was in his residence, staring at a portrait created by Redis years before. It contained everyone Naruto knew, except that it was created when he and the others were children. He focused his attention on one person in the image in particular, a short white-haired girl with her hands raised.
Listen, thank you for being my buddy, Naruto said as he lay on his bed, succumbing to exhaustion. 6 years before, honestly, when will you two stop fighting? Listen, asked the two who were arguing. They are Naruto Uzumaki and Natsu Dragneel in their youth. Until I beat him, both exclaimed. As punches and kicks were thrown, they began arguing even more. NASTU. Naruto. Continue reading.
That's it for this part, guys. Thanks for listening to this video. If you did enjoy this part of the story, like, share, and subscribe for more. And thank you all for your support and have a great day.